Today in Algebra 1, Chapter 4, Section 3, we are going to learn to graph using intercepts. Before we learn to graph, let's talk about what an intercept is. An x-intercept is any place that a graph crosses the x-axis. So if we were wanting to look at this point right here on the x-axis, that ordered pair is 2, 0. If we wanted to look at this point right here, that would be 5, 0. If we moved over here, this would be -4, 0. So the point that we're trying to make here is that any place on the x-axis, the y value is 0. Well then now let's look at the y-axis. If we have this point right here, that ordered pair is 0, 4. If we looked here, this would be 0, 7. We come down here, this would be 0, -4. So what do all these points have in common? Their x value is 0. So any place on the x-axis, the y value is 0, but any place on the y-axis, the x value is 0. If we are told to graph this equation on the coordinate plane by finding the intercepts, then we're going to use the information that we learned on the first page to do that. Let's make a table of values. Here's our x value, here's our y value. If we want to find the x-intercept, we learned on the previous page that the y value is 0. So we're going to put 0 in for y. And when we do that, okay, we'll have 3x plus 2 times 0 is 0, so that just essentially wipes it out, okay, and you get 3x equals 6. Then you'll divide both sides by 3, and you're going to get that x equals 2. So there's your x-intercept, and we can put that on the coordinate plane. To find our y-intercept, we're going to put 0 in for x, because you'll remember on the previous page that any point on the y-axis, the x value is 0. So if we put 0 in for x, then we're going to have 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. Okay, so that essentially wipes out the 3 times the 0 because that's 0, and you have 2y equals 6. So you divide both sides by 2, and you get that y equals 3. So you can put the ordered pair 0, 3 on the coordinate plane. Now you have 2 points, and you can draw your line between those 2 points, and your line is graphed. Oh, the next thing that we need to look at is if you are given a line that is on the coordinate plane, can you use that line to find the intercepts? Well, when you look at this line, what is the x-intercept? Where is it crossing the x-axis? Okay, we'll look right here, and that ordered pair is -4, 0. Okay, the x-intercept is -4, 0. And again, the y value is 0 at any x-intercept. Okay, what is the y-intercept? It's where it's crossing the y-axis, where the line crosses the y-axis, and that's happening at 0, 2. So again, on the y-axis, or the y-intercept, the x value must be 0. Okay, so what do you need to know for the quiz? You need to know that an x-intercept is where a graph crosses the x-axis, and that a y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. You also need to know that in an equation, okay, if it's in standard form, like 2x plus 3y equals 6, to find the x-intercept, you put 0 in for y. And to find the y-intercept, you put 0 in for x. And that you can find the x-intercept by looking at the graph and the y-intercept by looking at the graph. You'll have a great day.